do. Um, Lovely to have some of you on the call live from all over the world. It's so lovely to have people from the UK and from Tanzania and lots from Cape Town and Joburg and anybody else who I haven't mentioned. Thank you for joining us. And I think we are always stronger together. And so it is always lovely to do things in community, especially with lots of strong women. I can't see any men on the call, but we have got a few men who have braved the shed this year, which is fantastic. And we encourage you to drag your husbands along and help them to live lighter too. So I'm going to kick off with a little bit about the food part of the shed. And then Dee will talk a little bit more about the meditation and movement and breath work that we're going to include. And then hopefully next we'll be back in our house and ready to talk through a couple of the supplements and oils that you can use if you're choosing to do so. And then we can have times for Q&A. And obviously we are all available at any time. If you have got any questions or if you are just battling and feeling like you're ready to pull out, please don't, just shout and we can try and guide you through the next steps of just how to keep going. So your daily protocol will start with hot water and lemon in the morning. And we have, I've prepared a beautiful little, we've actually made it into like a little bookmark that you can tick off as you go through the day. And that should be dropped in the website on, I don't know if it's called a portal, a website or a platform, but whatever it is, on Sunday morning. And you can print those out. There's 8 on a sheet. You can cut them up and keep them next to you, wherever you are, or next to your bed. But it really just reminds you of your daily routine. So hot water and lemon to start the day. And then to try and find a little 10, 15 minute space or longer if you have to do a little bit of quiet time. So that might be a meditation, a little bit of breath work, some prayer time, whatever it is, some journaling. We've got a wonderful guest speaker speaking on Friday next week at this time, who is an expert on journaling. So she'll just give us a few little tweaks as to how to journal if you're not into journaling, if you don't think it's your thing. Antoinette is going to talk us through that. So I encourage you to come and join us or listen to the recording. So that 10, 15 minutes can be that time to just touch base with yourself. Then we encourage you to move your body for 30 minutes every day. And that can be walking, yoga, a spin class, a gym class. If you are juicing that week, you might want to go a little bit slowly depending on you and how regularly you juice fast, but just tap into how you're feeling. But any form of movement that you enjoy. I always say enjoy, because if we keep trying to do stuff that we really hate, we are probably bound to give up pretty quickly. Then we want you to drink at least 8 glasses of water. And we're going to give you a few little tweaks for that too, making your water bottle pretty with berries and herbs and also tasty. Sometimes 8 glasses of water can feel like a bit of a chore and a task, but sometimes we add a little bit of fun to it, some fruit and herbs, or cucumber or lemon, whatever it is, and it tastes a little bit better and looks a bit better. And then if you've got the Metapower oil, that's another thing that aids your detox. So a couple of drops of that in your water is also great. We encourage you to switch off your technology 60 hours. 60 hours, that would be good. That would be a really good detox, but 60 minutes is probably more manageable before you go to bed. So cut that blue light and try and down-regulate that nervous system by reading, by doing something peaceful and calming, and then assessing how that, how your sleep is after 21 days when we take out that technology. I think it's so tempting, and we all pretty addicted to our phones, but try when you hop into bed or that hour before bed to decrease that. It's a good time also to journal, and then I'm going to encourage you to do 3 gratitudes at the end of every day. It sounds really silly, but the research shows that the more we tap into gratitude, the more it elevates our joy. And when you do your gratitudes, and I'll remind you during the shed, try and make it specific from that day. So often when you say, what are you grateful for? People will go to my food, my family, the roof over my head, my job. But try and think back on your last 24 hours on specifics, that hug from a friend, the beautiful, delicious smoothie you had, a beautiful walk that you did, an interaction with somebody, and tap into the specifics of what it is in that day that might not happen the next day or the day before. And then prioritize your sleep. So try and set that good sleep routine that sometimes we neglect. Get those 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours or more if you're needing them. And we can go, I'll go through a few during the shed, a few kind of tweaks to that. Optional extras, also a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and water 2 to 3 times a day can help with craving. So especially while we juice fasting, and the detox and blood sugar balancing. So if 1 tablespoon feels too much, then start with a quarter of a teaspoon or a quarter of a tablespoon, move up to a teaspoon and kind of just titrate it up. Some of you have also got the PB Restore probiotic, so you want to take that with before a meal once a day, or any good encapsulated. We very pro PB Restore just because we know it's one of the best on the market, but a probiotic can aid the gut health during this time, and you want to take that with cool or warm water, definitely not any boiling hot food or water. Dry body brushing is a useful thing during detox, a bath in Epsom salts, and then perhaps as a reward towards the end of your detox or even during, book a massage or some reflexology. So your little reward to your body. In terms of the food, Sal and I have worked pretty hard on this, both having a nutrition and nutrition background in functional medicine and integrative nutrition. And we're using this analogy of the garden. So if you were to plant your garden, the first thing you do is weed the weeds before you can put anything good. So that first week really is about weeding out the weeds, decreasing all the toxins in our body in the form of gluten, dairy, sugar, alcohol, coffee, and anything with preservatives, colorants, flavorants. So read those labels if you're unsure. And eat things that are as close to nature or their natural state as possible. Many of you have signed up for the juice fast, so we'll be doing that together. A lot of us are doing it alongside you. But that can also be put into, if this first week, for example, Sal's got her kids all home next week, it's not an ideal week for her juice fast, and she loves sitting around the family table, so she's going to eat according to the shed, but she's going to eat her meals and she's going to do her juice in the second week. So if the first week just feels like, oh, I just don't think I can juice, you can still order your juices and then join Sal in the second week. So make, the shed also has to be personalized to your life and what's happening. So alongside the 3, 5, or 7 day juices, we'll also send, the recipe book actually went out today. So Sal and I have called it Sips and Salads. So it's all things that you can drink, all the sips, the soups, the smoothies, and the juices. And there's a couple of different recipes to inspire you there, and then some salads. So if you're a person who just can't get your head around juicing, there are soups and there are lovely salads. And then there is a list too of foods that you can eat and those to avoid during the 21 days. So if all of this kind of feels too overwhelming, just go back to that list and simplify. We're all on different journeys. We're all in different parts of our lives. And so it's really important that you make it your own. I don't know I think most people who've ordered juices probably got their little pack of, or very big pack of juices. And it comes with a lovely little detox schedule with some recipes, and it's really paint by numbers, exactly what time in the day to have all your juices, and they're all well labeled. So have a little read through that. Our second week, we're calling our seed. So first week was weeding, the second week is seeding, introducing a lot of prebiotic food, and I'm going to talk through the 30 plus, I'm not going to say movement, but adding a lot of diversity to your diet. We know that the gut is best when we add diversity. So if we want a beautiful garden, we need to put lots of different things and variety. So we're going to encourage you to really eat a spectrum of color and different grains and nuts and seeds. And I've made a beautiful little checklist that you can actually, through the week, check off as much variety as possible. And then our third week, we're calling our feed week, and that's introducing fermented foods again, with so much benefit to the gut. So we'll talk you through as we go. What have I not said? Yeah, please reach out if you need anything. I think at the end of the shade, from previous experience, a lot of people have feedback that they feel lighter, they've lost weight, they feel more energized, their skin is better, their sleep is better. And anybody in the perimenopause and menopause space, definitely a decrease in symptoms. So watch out for that. There's a beautiful color spreadsheet where you can kind of tick off where you're at, and I sent the medical symptom questionnaire too. So fill that out now and then at the end to actually see, because sometimes we don't always realize the benefit of what we're doing when we're doing these sort of things. We'll send a few discount codes for various places. So Stronger Story in Cape Town. Jackie and Debbie do such a beautiful course, and they've given us 50% off if anybody hasn't done that, which is really aligning your passion and your purpose. I strongly recommend that. Soaring Free has got the most incredible products, and we get 25% of all of that, and that's cacao, chia seeds, maca, clean proteins, lots of master greens. So I'll send you a link for that. And then I'm in the process of also trying to getting some pre-recorded at-home yoga classes for us to do during the shed, amongst a lot of other stuff that we will drop. And then Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1, we'll have a guest speaker or a check-in like this where you can ask questions, you can share stories, and just come together to just check in as to how you're doing. They'll all be recorded, so if you can't attend, then you will get the recording. Yeah, and that is pretty much it from the feeding point of view. Are there any questions or concerns or anything that's kind of not clear?
Should we maybe perhaps leave the questions for after next?
Don't know if people can't attend the whole thing, if there's anything pressing, or put them in the chat and then I can respond. Perfect. Okay, Dee, it's over to you.
Hello, everyone. So looking forward to meeting you all and for us to kick off this shed together. So this is really supposed to be, as Nix has already said, fun, doable, and fit into our lifestyles, as we all have very busy lifestyles. I'm actually going to be traveling to Wales next week, Wednesday. So I'm going to be kicking off the shed in Wales because I'm starting my master's in mindfulness. And so I'm planning on doing a 3-day detox in terms of the juices, and then restarting again with the juices another 3 days. So I'm going to make it my own and make sure that it fits into my schedule. So as we've said, make sure that you do. The idea is for you to follow as much of the guidance as possible, but also bringing in your own flavor into it, how it fits into your lifestyle. So also with the meditations, I've made sure that we're making it them bite-sized and also manageable, so that it's only about 5, 10. It's really going to be things that you're able to do. The idea is for you to take a pause during your day, either first thing in the morning or at the end of the day, but for you to create that space for yourself in which to set your intention and for you to carry that through your day. And also during the day, perhaps remembering how you've started your day. If it's maybe breath work, remembering just before a meal, we're going to be including things like the breath of fire, which is a very great breath for you to activate your digestive system. So pausing before the meal and actually doing those, the breath of fire and seeing how it feels then as you eat your meal mindfully. And Nikki and Sal, as she said, they've worked tirelessly in putting together beautiful recipe book. I even said to them, perhaps we need a spring shed recipe book that must be published, because each year I'm just in awe of the beautiful recipes that they put together. And it's, you continue using them. And so there'll be a mindful eating meditation that you'll get just to remind you of, chewing your food. And even if you're having your smoothie or your juice, taking it as a meal. So not gulping it down, but pausing and making sure you're drinking it as if you would be taking a meal. So taking sips and putting it down and then carrying on. Then we're going to, there's a body scan, which is going to be gut focused, that is also being recorded, also bite-sized, but enough for you to tap into what's happening, the sensations that are happening in your body, so that you can actually go in and feel into your digestive system and feel how this digestive system that we're not able to see, but in our mind's eye, starts realizing the lot of work that it does when we putting a lot of food or sugars or things that are not necessarily helpful to our body. And then, of course, the gratitude practice that Nikki has touched on a bit, that we're also going to, the journaling will be a great way in which for you to carry on the gratitude practice. So naming those three things, either at the end of the day or even at the beginning of the day, setting an intention, and then at the end of the day, bringing in the gratitude as to what are you thankful for. So there's lots to look forward to. And then, of course, there's movement. I've got some pre-recorded videos that we're going to be sharing. And also we've got a great offer of a yoga teacher who's has a beautiful studio, who's going to be offering us yoga practices that you can follow. So we're going to, and also making it your own. If it's swimming that you enjoy, do it. If it's walking, that brisk walk, be intentional about it. So the idea is to do some movement each day, 30 minutes. And if you are able to, even doing longer. So the idea is for us to assist our body in that detox process through this 21 days and having fun while doing it with it, and maybe enjoying others, forming groups if you've got friends who are doing the shed with you, even bringing your friend that it's your catch up. It's a way for you to catch up, do that. There's paddle, there's so many different things. The weather is beautiful. We're in really the blossoming of everything. So blossom with our season. And then I'm also going to do the meditative walking, which is slower, making you more intentional about seeing what your surroundings are like, what you're hearing, the birds chirping, maybe feeling the sun on your skin. I like vitamin D, so I know first thing in the morning, I need to be out there. I don't look like it, but I do like vitamin D. But so being in there, internalizing and feeling that sun hit your skin and getting all the beautiful, what nature has to offer for us, doing beautiful hikes. I've already set up a 10K hike that I'm doing this Sunday with friends. So that's how I'm intending on kicking off the shed. So we're really encouraging you to have fun with us, be gentle on yourself, and know that if you slip off, it's okay. And that at each moment, we have the opportunity to start again. And 21 days is a long time for us to see shifts and changes that we want, that can be everlasting in our lives. So let's enjoy it. And yeah, if you have any questions, any doubts, if you feel your body, remember also our bodies are different each day. And be gentle with yourself. If the movement didn't feel okay for you today, or you feel sore, know that tomorrow, perhaps if you redo it again, it's going to feel lighter, it's going to feel easier. So don't be afraid of the hard, but rather leave room for curiosity and allow space for yourself, so that you can also challenge yourself and see, how far can I take this? But of course, be doing it all very mindfully. So yeah, I think so far, if anything that I've missed out, just, put it in the chat, and it would be great for us to answer any questions or any, whatever it is that you may be unclear of. So Nix, I see you're back, the other Nix, welcome. And I hope Shadow is okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Nix. Thank you, Didi. And so for those who weren't on at the beginning of the call, me being the host, we always like to meet the four of us just before we do any call, and we like to just set our intentions and do a little prayer and calm and ground. And suddenly I realized it was 1 o'clock and I wasn't even on the call, and I'm the one who has the Zoom link. And that's because I'd taken our little dog Shadow down to Bruce's, we're in St. Francis, and to the coffee shop. And then I went to join the rest of our family to surf. And my dad was going to be coming down. And anyway, he was a bit delayed. And so the knock-on effect is that Shadow ran home, but we are not staying in our home because we had rented it out. It's a last-minute trip here. So shame. He ran home, only find no one he knew there, and then ran off and got himself lost. So our whole family's been hunting for him, and we have found him. Thank goodness. We found him literally at like 5 to 1. But I was in a little bit of a mess, and I'm still in a bit of a mess. I've got my swimming costume, my hair. I tried to surf. I wasn't even very successful at that this morning. But the whole thing is that we show up as we are. And so because I got back and I thought, oh, maybe I quickly sort out my hair, put on some makeup, put on a nice shirt and things. And then I thought, actually, no, because the whole thing about the shed is that we are showing up authentically, and that this is me as I am now, and you'll see me in different forms of grooming when I do my videos and things like that. But and that's the same for all of us. And we'd love to have screens on and see your beautiful faces, even if you're busy, even if you are not looking your best or whatever, because that's how we form our community. And it gave me great pleasure to see Jack Sicky. I don't know you, but seeing you having your cup of tea as we were doing this, because it feels like we are a gathering and we can sit and have our cup of tea or make our food or be together like friends do, like friends are together. And this whole, I teach a feminine wisdom course, and this whole course, oh my gosh, Shadow is at the door, and when Shadow's at the door, and I just have to say hello, so I'm just going to let him in for 2 seconds. Boy. Sorry, hello boy, yeah, come.
I just have to say that we also have Sal, our fourth facilitator, yes, live at the bull sale in where are you, Sal? In the middle of nowhere.
In the Eastern Cape.
Thank you.
I've managed to the sales over, and we're down at the house having they're doing a break here, and I've just found a quiet spot, so long may it last.
Great.
But hi everyone, lovely to see so many people on, and yeah, we're looking forward to this. Thank you guys.
Well, we're happy you could show your face, Sal.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you. And that's the amazing thing about a community, which is part of what we wanted to grow in the Spring Shed, is that we have each other's backs. And so while Sal and I weren't able to show up as we were wanting to show up today for various very different reasons, Nix and Didi had our backs and they could run with it. And then when we're able to show up, we've got their backs, and vice versa. And so it's the same. Not all of us will show up as we want to every day, and to know that this community has got your back. So as Didi and Nix have both said, sometimes there are hard things. Like the half of this thing is that we're building our resilience, we're building our inner courage. We're teaching ourselves we can do hard things. We can stick to things that we've committed to, even though it feels hard, because it's for our greater benefit. And so we have that masculine energy of forming a strong container and boundaries and determination and goals and focus. But then we bring in the feminine energy, and this is for men and for women, all of us on the shed. We have the feminine energy of community, collaboration, nurturing, intuition. I'd say to our kids, visualize a golden thread between you and Shadow and draw him back. Anyway, I have to still find out whether Finn did that, but Finn found Shadow. And Finn, the Shadow is attached to my golden thread right here now. Anyway, and this is part of the magic that we are going to be creating. And when we are in community, we go so much further. As the African proverb says, if you want to go somewhere fast, go alone. If you want to go somewhere far, go together. And that's what we're doing. So we love your screens on. We'd love as many of you to join at our Monday, Wednesday, Friday calls at 1 o'clock. We'll try and keep them to sort of half an hour-ish or so, but we also want to have a chance to chat. So we'll keep the information bit to half an hour, and then people can listen to the rest if they want to the chat and the debriefing. So we'll set aside an hour from our sides. And now I'm just going to chat to you a little bit about the oil options, because the one thing that the four of us have in common is that we are all doTERRA wellness advocates. And that's for a very good reason. It's because we love these oils, and we have seen profound shifts in ourselves and our families. I mean, as I was sitting here trying to calm myself after this experience, I whipped out my little calm roller, put it on me, smelt it, took a few breaths. I do a few bunny. Nikki will, well, I'll be sharing actually the bunny breath and things in due course. Nikki and I have taught it at schools together, and it's a really calming, grounding breath. So, but the oils go so well with that, and that's why we'd love to invite you on this journey with us, that you and your family will have tools to really help you. So I'm going to share my screen. In fact, I might have to make myself host again. Let me just see. Next, I'm requesting for you to help me share my screen. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to show you what we have curated. And Nikki and I have done a lovely half-hour call for you to see this. We've curated, so I'm not going to talk through all the talk through all the kits in detail, but I'm just going to give you a brief overview of the oils. Can you see my screen? Great. So there is this document which we will share with you all afterwards. You may have seen it already. And we've curated these kits. All of these will come with an On Guard roller as well this month, which is, interestingly, On Guard is our protective blend. It's very good for viruses, bacteria, immunity, sore throat, stopping us getting sick, helping us if we are already sick. But it's also all about boundaries, because physically it's protecting us. It's our protective blend. That's what the properties of the oils in it are, which are cinnamon, clove, sorry, not cinnamon, it's clove, wild orange, rosemary, eucalyptus, very powerful antioxidant oils as well, or powerful antiviral oils. But it's also about clear boundaries. And so when we're feeling moments of wavering and moments of not wanting to do stuff, or feeling like our boundaries are impinged on, we can use these oils, we can use our On Guard roller actually emotionally to support us in our choice of enforcing our boundaries. So it's a lovely gift. It feels like it was designed. doTERRA gifts some months, not all months. There's a free gift, and this is part of this. So the wellness advocate who invited you to join us, please speak to them, because they'll need to give you a code to get this On Guard touch roller. Then we look at the gut and body focus. This is our biggest kit. It's specifically designed for those who have had real digestive issues. It is profound. As Nikki says, the PB Restore is our probiotic. It is in a league of its own. We discuss it in far more detail in our call, but it's amazing as a gut probiotic, and there's nothing that comes close to it in South Africa. Terrazyme is the digestive enzyme. Serenity is the sleep stick. Then there's MetaPower, which you take before a meal. And what we're going to do is we are going to do a whole list of these oils and what they are. And you look for what oils you've got, and we're going to tell you how to use them. That will be coming out early next week. But as Nick says, if you give the lemon, we're going to start our day with a drop of lemon or any citrus oil. So in each kit, there is a citrus oil. In these three, it's the MetaPower oil, which is a combination of citrus. And in this one, it is a MetaPower and lemon. So you start your day with a drop of lemon or MetaPower oil in warm water, not boiling water. And then you have that. It's like your inside shower. It helps to detox and cleanse your digestive tract, your liver, your kidneys. And then we're not going to have our coffee, but I'm certainly not, especially in the first week. But we're going to give other options. And then in due course, when we go back to living life normally, still, this is a habit that is important to keep, because our lemon is an acid, but when we take a drop in water and take it internally, it's an alkalizer. And so then it helps us with any of our conditions which arise from having a very acidic system, which is everything from arthritis, any sort of chronic disease, gout, any inflammatory condition, autoimmune condition. So we can, and most of our most of our illness and disease stems from us being too acidic. So we will go through how to use these, and we'll share a little bit more about this, and we'll also touch on it a bit more on Monday, but we really encourage you to watch the little video on the oils. If you don't know which to get, I would start with either this Fresh Start kit or the Live Lighter kit, because those are just entry level. They cover a wide range of things. They are very useful. Again, just watch the little video and it'll explain why. This bigger kit comes with this more free products, Deep Blue Rub, Deep Blue Touch, and Deep Blue Oil, which, if anyone knows me, knows that's my favorite oil, because as a physio, I've never seen such profound healing. Bruise resorption, sprained ankles heal. It's incredible for anything from tennis elbows to sore necks and backs, headaches, migraines, and the works. So that comes with this kit, or any order over what we say 200 points value. These all have little PVs next to the price. And that's because doTERRA is an international company, so they can't work on price, they work on points value. So any order over 200 points value, it gets you over this Deep Blue kit. And so you can custom make your own with the person who invited you to the shed, the Wellness Advocate. And I'm just going to show you a little bit more about how. MetaPower is our system for specially formulated more for weight loss, energy regulation, metabolism, anything around that. It is specially designed to work as a system. That's how it works best. It's got this incredible collagen. I've got a short video about the collagen that we'll share with you along our journey. It's very high level of collagen. And then it's got all these other tools which help with cravings, blood sugar levels. It's very good for pre-diabetics, diabetics, for anyone wanting to lose weight. Okay, and then this is what Nix was talking about that we've sent out, and we will send out again in an email, and we'll send it on the WhatsApp group. But we encourage you to print this out and to really just take a few minutes this weekend to have a look at where you rate yourself on in these areas and see what you feel perhaps you want to focus on. Because if we have more of this sort of awareness, we can help you we might decide to do a different option of, although these all cover this whole range, because you can see it covers these relate, the green relates to the green up at the top, which is nutrition and digestion. The yellow relates to movement and metabolism, blue rest and relaxation, the red reduced toxicity, purple is informed self-care, and then the light blue is proactive wellness. And why this is so important is because this is the foundations of health. And in fact, I want to read a passage to you, which I forgot, that I've got here. I mean, I was thinking about it just 2 minutes ago. I need more of those adaptive capsules. So I'm going to read it to you at the end. If I don't, please remind me, wave your hands. But these are the foundations of wellness. And we suddenly think, oh my goodness, I don't know why I got sick. But so often it's because we don't have these strong foundations. And this is, and same for stress, and same for so many things. And so in this 3 weeks, we are really building our foundations. We're building good foundations. We're not just taking pills and sort of suppressing symptoms to feel better. We're changing things from the inside out. We are feeding our roots. So once we have an idea of this, the person who introduced you to the oils can go through this with you. These are a whole lot of oils and products that might be relevant for you. You can read through this as well and see which ones appeal to you. And so you could make a combination of any of these depending on what your pain areas or your focus areas are for this shed. And this is the wonderful thing, as Nick said, this journey is, we are doing it together, but it's so individual. And Didi said too, we're meeting you, like there's no hard and fast rules, but we are wanting to bring the best out of ourselves and our husbands and partners and the men in our lives. We're hoping you'll bring them on along the ride. And we know that they might not show up on our Zoom calls, but we're really hoping they'll listen to the recordings, and because the men need this very much too. So these are those oils. And then finally, these are products, which we'll talk more about. They're not the only products that one can use that are non-toxic, low toxic load, no chemical load. But we really are creating awareness in the spring shed of what we are putting on and in our bodies, and the high chemical loads that we often put on inadvertently with a lot of our creams and lotions and shampoos and face products and makeup, which contribute to the endocrine disruption. But not just that, the sensitivity of our skin and our gut and our gut microbiome, because our skin is our biggest organ and it absorbs everything and it goes into our system. And this can be contributing hugely to a lot of the high levels of cancers and all sorts of other illnesses that we are seeing. So we really want to be conscious about what we're putting on our body. So we've time-stamped this all to help you see the bits that are relevant to you, but I really suggest listening to the whole thing. You'll get much more out of it. And then please speak to the person who introduced you to the oils and to the Spring Shed, and they will help you on the oils journey. They'll be your person, but we are here with you. It's a whole community thing. So I think what I'll just do is finish off, and then we'll have a space for questions by just reading this passage to you. I went to a yoga class yesterday here in St. Francis, and the yoga instructor read this to us. And this is the amazing thing about, again, feminine energy and feminine wisdom. And you'll find this is the magic that you're going to find on the next 3 weeks. The universe moves to support us. When we set our intentions there, the universe or God or however we perceive it is there to support us and will aid us and will help us along the way. And so she read this to us, and I was like, this is what we are doing in the Spring Shed. So I invite you just to take a breath and just to listen to this, to maybe drop your gaze and just to soften into your body and just to listen to this passage. It's called Enliven Inner Silence. It is only when we silence the blaring sounds of our daily existence that we can finally hear the whispers of truth that life reveals to us as it stands knocking at the doorsteps of our hearts. That's by Katie Young. But the passage is, imagine a beautiful fruit tree is growing in your garden, and it is your job to ensure its optimal health. If you didn't understand that the true source of this tree, its roots, lies underground, you may spend many hours watering all the external parts of the tree individually, the trunk, branches, leaves, and fruits. If you did this, the tree would soon die because you didn't nourish its source. However, although the roots of a tree lie underground and cannot be seen with the naked eye, you know that they are the ultimate source of nourishment for the entire tree. By spending a few minutes each day watering the roots, i.e., tending to what lies unseen, you would nourish every part of the tree and enjoy bountiful fruit for many years. This analogy comes from the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, the renowned Indian scholar and spiritual teacher. According to Maharishi, the exact idea applies to our success in life. He says, water the roots to enjoy the fruits. In other words, you have to have balanced health and success in life, enjoy the fruits. We need to nourish our unseen, non-physical, spiritual source, water our roots. Wise teachers from Jesus to Buddha, Krishna to Muhammad, Shaolin monks to Aboriginal elders, Hippocrates to Einstein have also known that the unseen or spiritual part of us is the essential nourishing source of all that we are. Throughout time, there's always been one consistent message amongst all of the great philosophies and spiritual precepts. So that's why this is a spiritual journey too. It's a very physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual journey. And we're so excited that you are joining us for this. So we are going to open for questions now, but we're also going to encourage you. We'll share this recording on email and also on our Spring Shed group, which we presume you're all on now. Otherwise, you wouldn't have got the recording link. But if you just double check if you're not. And you're welcome to share this with anyone that you would like to invite along. They need to have signed up by Sunday evening to join us. As Nick said, we can do the juice fast at any time. And we can, so mine I actually only ordered yesterday because life is busy and I don't get around to doing some of these things sometimes. And so I probably will only get mine about towards the end of next week, and that's fine because Colin commutes, and so we're going to try and do ours from Friday to Tuesday next week. We're going to do a 5-day juice fast. And just to also reiterate what Nick was saying, the juice fast is very much a combination of juices and then protein smoothies and soups and things. So it's not hugely, it's not, you can still carry on training on it and some of the men in our lives might feel like, oh, they're not sure that they can do this. They don't think it's good for them. Please to know, and that you can always custom make it. You can always just speak to Tam and she will then adjust it to give you more protein or more of whatever you're wanting to do. And so, so she can custom make it for that, or if you've got any health challenges or concerns, if you're going through a health crisis or dealing with any specific illness, she can custom make. She does incredible juices for other conditions, for everything from cancer to this one's obviously specially formulated for gut and gut health and healing, but she does all sorts of different fasts. So it's very mixable, and you can join us later in the week on the juice fast, and sometimes it's quite a nice thing to build up to, as Nick says, just cut out some of the gluten and the dairy and the coffees preceding it, then it makes the juice fast often more easy to manage. So thank you so much. I see Nick is answering some of the questions there. Yes, Didi, very good point. So our lemon is very concentrated, it's very powerful, and that's why, and so as Didi says, you want to put it in a glass or stainless steel container, because if you put in plastic, and if you have lemon oil, you can get a little styrofoam cup and put 1 or 2 drops in it and go back to 20 minutes later, and you'll see how it eats away that plastics and the toxins. So we don't want to keep it in a plastic container, but we do want that effect on our body. We want to get rid of all those microplastics. We want to get rid of all the toxins in our bodies. Jean-Marie, the poem was actually, I'll share it with our Mindful Moment group, which we hope will introduce many of you to along the way as well. The book is called Ancient Wisdom for Modern Health, and it's book 1, The Essential Wisdoms by Mark Bunn. So, and then Metapower, a question, Metapower, this should be taken before or after a meal. Bottle says, the website says after. Any advice? We say 20 to 30 minutes before, and you can even, if you forget that, you can even open the capsule and sprinkle it on the food. It helps you, helps with the digestion, so that you don't have this. What Metapower Assist does is it balances blood sugar levels. So if you take it before and you eat your meal, it's like an apple cider vinegar, so it helps to, but far more specifically formulated for this, helps to balance that blood sugar spike. So you can take it afterwards. It's still going to help to curtail it, but you might have already had some of the spike. So it's best to have it before, even 5 minutes before, ideally 20 to 30 minutes. But if you realize you've forgotten, help is at hand. Just open it and pour it on like you would do a salt or pepper or something like that. Jack's Hickey says, we make a whole lemon, ginger, and turmeric mix that we freeze into the blocks and have it with water. Should we replace it with just lemon drops in the water? Exactly. I was going to say exactly what Didi's just said. She said to keep to that mixture, Jacks, and just add another drop of lemon to it. Because the lemon that we squeeze has got vitamin C and other nutrients in it. The lemon oil is from the rind of the lemon. It's far more purifying and cleansing. It's 50 to 70 times stronger than the actual lemon. It doesn't have the citric acid, which affects your teeth. But that is such a lovely mixture. So I definitely keep up with that. I think it's such a great idea. And then just add the drop of lemon. Yeah, it's a great mixture of anti-inflammatory elements. And this is the beautiful thing of community, is we all inspire each other. So I think I might do blocks. I've loved lemon oil, obviously lemon oil, ginger oil, and turmeric oil. And I think that's a great idea. I might just make my own little ice blocks with those 3 oils, and then that's nice to use. Or
Can I add one more thing? If you do have a juicer, then half an hour after your lemon, celery juice is also a great thing for detoxing. So you could also take a whole stick of celery, and the medical medium talks a lot about hot warm water and lemon on an empty stomach, 2 glasses of that actually, and then your whole celery that you juice and drink that 30 minutes after your lemon. So if you want to add that as a little extra tweak.
Yeah,
and then can I just also ask that nobody shares the recipes we share? Some of them Sal and I have drawn up, others we have shared where we've taken them from. and others in our rush have just been taken from our firm favorites out of our recipe books. But sharing it on might be considered plagiarism because they're not all vetted and vetoed. So if you could just keep those to yourselves, that would be great. Thank you.
And sorry, just to go back, we're going to talk more about celery oil, celery and celery detoxes, because it is such a powerful way of detoxing. We'll talk about more about it later in the shed. We're just keeping things simple up front in the first week. But there is celery oil, and it's a far more easy and efficient way. I mean, we juice, we've got a juicer, frequently do juice the actual celery oil, but celery sticks. But celery is one of the most sprayed crops, so you really have to try and find an organic supplier, and then you take a whole thing of celery and you make about this much, and it's not that palatable. And so we have the celery drops that we put in a little capsule. It's so easy. You drop like 4 to 6 drops in it and can take it like that. Done. No mess, no fuss. Same jacks as your turmeric, ginger, and lemon. You can just do 3 little drops. Done. No mess, no fuss. You don't have to. And then it's 50 to 70 times stronger than the actual herb. So, and we'll also be talking about cilantro or coriander. That's a fantastic one for heavy metal detox. But our whole point of the shed is little stuff often, so it feels like it's not overwhelming, and we can digest it and absorb it. Because with our food as well, if we eat it slowly and we do small changes or things, that's when we digest and absorb, not when we just flood our body with stuff. So, any other questions? So we'll be meeting again Monday lunchtime, 1 o'clock. We look forward to connecting with you then. We can answer more questions then, and kicking off our spring shed together. Next, Didi, is there anything else you want to say?
Just a reminder to cut the coffee and the alcohol this weekend. It just does help with Monday. I know we all tempted. Every coffee I have this week, I really savor and look at it and enjoy it. Yeah, move to decaf. It's not ideal. I don't normally promote it, but it does help the Monday headaches. And then just decrease little by little so that Monday is a little bit easier. But with all the juices, if you are juicing, I think it'll take us through. And just remember to drink lots of water.
Yeah, and think about the intention why you've joined the shed, and also just be gentle and kind unto yourself, knowing that it's a journey. It's not a destination, that you're starting a new journey for yourself, and be curious and open, and aim to have fun with us in this next 21 days. So we look forward to it, and thank you all for joining.
Thank you. Yeah, always lovely to have those who can join live and those who are listening to recording. We can't wait to journey in the shed with you and to meet you in the spring shed. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.